The wet robes, we cannot put enough emphasis on how fantastic they have been for our residents. My name is Melissa Gregory. I'm the nursing programs coordinator here at the John Noble Home in Brantford, Ontario. So I cover all of the mandatory nursing programs within the home. So that does include skin and wound, the continence committee, palliative, pain, etc. We are a long-term care facility. We have 6 home areas in our home, and we are 156 bed home. Most of our residents do have some sort of cognitive impairment, namely dementia, but a lot of our other residents do have mobility issues as well. We use them both in the shower and in the tub. The cushions have been great for, again, repositioning for comfort. Just having it on their lap has been very successful as well, just to keep them feeling safe and secure. A lot of them do like it around the neck. It's kind of like that bath pillow kind of feeling to it. So they do like it around the neck. We do have residents that will lean to a specific side, so they may not be able to sit completely upright with their own strength. So we can tuck the pillow into the side. We love that it's in the shape of kind of a moon. We call it the moon pillow. So it's easy to adjust. It's easy to place because it has that half moon shape to it. We've had residents use them underneath their knees to support them better in the shower chairs. I've had somebody use it in the tub. We do have the tub, the foot stoppers, so that people that are emerged into the tub with a sling, they're not safe to sit on the bath chair. Those foot stoppers are they're plastic, right? So they're hard. So we do have a resident that likes, we put that up against the foot stop, so it's just more padding for their feet. We do have one resident, female resident in our home, who absolutely loves the dry robe. So when new staff come in and they're not familiar with her, she's very quick to say, okay, I don't want that towel, I want the blue towel. So she calls it the blue fluffy towel. So she's very adamant to have that used. She loves it. Which is fantastic. So she uses it for transfers to the tub room. So they will get her undressed, they will cover her in the blue towel. And then because the dry robe is so large, it covers everything. Whereas, before when you're using blankets, blankets slip, they fall down, they expose parts of the body that we don't want exposed. With the dry robes, they cover everything. And the design is perfect too, because as they're sitting in the chair, the design of the snaps on the back to keep it in place, it's just perfect. The wet robes, we cannot put enough emphasis on how fantastic they have been for our residents. I can give you an example. We had a resident who, anytime staff would bring this resident into the bathroom, screaming behaviors right upon attempting to remove her clothing. It was so bad that we had to have myself and another manager come up to think of different interventions. This is prior to us obtaining your products. We did suggest using, a regular bath towel to keep her covered. And it did eliminate the behaviors, but as you know, when you put that towel on and as it becomes wet, it also becomes very heavy. So that was a little bit of a challenge as well. So this resident, upon using the wet robe she went from screaming from the very start of the bath to the very end when we opened the door, to now she might have 2 outbursts, maybe, that are easily redirected. So these are not heavy on her at all. So we place it over top of her. The staff can wash her body right over top of the fabric. That works well for her. She doesn't feel like she has a ton of weight on her shoulders because it's not as thick as a towel, and she's getting clean. And the most important part is that, she feels safe, she feels secure. her dignity is preserved, and we have seen a significant change in her behavior with bathing. And then the distraction technique as well. So this goes hand in hand with our behaviors. Residents that, during the shower, if they're trying to grab out at things. So we find that the staff were putting it on their lap, and because they have that crunchy feeling to them, they'll get them to start using the cushion as like a tactile distraction. And it has worked. It's been great. So it has, really promoted safety where they're not trying to grab out at something and stand up from the shower chair or whatnot. At the beginning, the staff were removing her clothes and applying it, but we found it was much more helpful to apply it first and get her undressed underneath it. So that has been much better. So we dress her because the robe is now wet. We will put a dry robe right over top, remove the wet robe, and then we dress her from underneath the dry robe. So the staff don't feel like they're working with a small amount of space to get her clothes back on. There's plenty of room. With the dry robes, we had a staff member say, "I like how the dry robes are big and fluffy. It keeps our residents warm." Another staff said the dry robes promote privacy for our residents. Another staff member said the dry robes are fantastic. They preserve dignity in our residents as they cover them properly and keep them warm. Another staff member said they are awesome at keeping our residents warm. The residents love them. Bath time with a spa atmosphere. Another staff said the robes keep our residents warmer than a regular towel. These are great to assist with transfers as the resident is kept covered appropriately, and they provide an extra sense of security for the residents. The wet robe feedback was, the wet robes work. We have many residents on our unit who have a hard time with bathing because they do not like to undress and be exposed. With the wet robes, the residents keep their dignity and feel safe during their baths. We had another staff member say the wet robe is very helpful for us while showering residents who have responsive behaviors. We have seen our residents feel safe and secure during their showers now, and in turn show less responsive behaviors. Somebody else said the resident feels secure and we can still shower them with it. And then for the comfort pillow, the feedback was, I like that the pillow is versatile and can be used for many reasons. We have used them for comfort, positioning, and as a tactile distraction, as the pillow has a cool feeling to it. Somebody else said, great for helping keep our residents' position in the tub chair or shower chair. And then someone said, these pillows give as much comfort as the robes do. So we had some really good feedback there.